Alrighty, welcome back. It is Tuesday, the 31st of January, 2023, and it is 10 a.m. and it is 31 days of this podcast. I've managed to complete an entire month. Even with everything else going on, even on top of everything else that I've been doing, I managed to complete 31 days, and I don't think anyone knows. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that know how satisfying that is, but holy shit. It's so satisfying to know that I sat down every day for this entire month and managed to carve out 10 to 20 minutes just to talk shit into a microphone, to talk unfiltered, just my thoughts. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. I came close twice. There was one where I did it at 9 p.m., one where I did it at 11 p.m. But most of them stayed in the a.m. Most of them stayed in the morning. And I guess the journey so far, I've only just hit, I haven't even hit 10%, right? I need another 6 or 7 more days and I hit 10% of the year. But the journey so far, I've really found this very therapeutic, very, I want to say necessary. It's almost like I can't go back to not doing something like this now, even if I don't upload it everywhere. I've committed this year to uploading 365 of these. But I just have this weird, this weird feeling where it's like the same as me going back to the gym. Like, I don't know why I stopped doing it, you know? It's become this like sort of norm for me, this therapeutic thing where I can come in here, I can talk about all the things that I'm thinking of, and then I can go about my day and I don't have to consider these again. You know, if there's anything that's sort of weighing on my mind, anything that I'm thinking of, things that I wanted to mention, things that are positive, negative, whatever, I can sort of mention them on here, and then I just go about my day. And I don't even pretend like I didn't do this. I just forget that I did it because it took up 10 minutes in the morning, and then I go and the rest of my day starts. And it's like, once before I would like hold on to shit. I'd think about it for a couple of days. I'd tell everybody about it. Or it'd be a point of a discussion for a few days. Like that lady with the sapphires, you know, like I'd tell everyone about that. I mentioned that to like 2 people, and then I said it on here. And it's like, if you want to know about it, listen to this, because I'm not repeating it. It's not staying in my head. And I think there's something valuable in that. And then on top of that, I guess my tenacity, I've noticed, like last night, for example. So I got home last night. I decided I was going to go for a run. And Mads calls me when I'm on the train on the way home, and she says, "How far away are you? I've really cut my finger like really badly." And I was like, "Holy fuck, like what are you talking about?" And she was chopping up potatoes and she cut her finger really badly and she was freaking out. And, you know, I thought I was going to fucking walk in and see her in a pool of blood on the floor or something. I thought she might have cut off the end of her finger, or I don't know how bad it was. I don't know what I was thinking, but I freaked out. And so I ran from the train station home in my bloody like day wearing shoes, which was an awful decision because I busted the shit out of my calves and my my lower legs. Really, like they were so sore. I got home and like there was a bit of blood all over the floor, and it was just like I would say it's a minor gash next to her index fingernail, probably from the cuticle just around the finger to the right, like to the inside of the finger a little bit. Looked like it was painful. But it's definitely nothing that needed stitches or anything. It was just, you know, it was just cosmetic more than anything. But I guess the tip of the finger, because she's got, I don't know whether it's because she's got Crohn's or because she's taking like immunosuppressant drugs or anything like that, but there just seemed to be an excessive amount of blood coming out of such a tiny little gash in the end of her finger. And it was everywhere. It was like all over the floor, the cupboards and stuff. She didn't know what to do. She freaked out. So she started running underwater. I was like, no. The first thing you do is you grab some fucking towels and you just hold it. You stop the bleeding. But it's all right. We live and we learn. And so we got home and we cleaned that up and put a Band-Aid on it, whatever. And then because I said I was going to cook tea, I didn't get to start cooking tea until a bit later. And then once tea was cooked, it was like 9:30 or closer to 10. I was like, fuck. No, it was 9. It was close to 9:30. And I was sitting here just battling with that little bitch in my head that's like, oh, just do the gym tomorrow. Just go tomorrow. You can, you don't need to go today. Just go tomorrow. It's fine. Have your rest day today, and then tomorrow can be a run. Oh, sorry. And so I started getting ready for the gym, and I was like, I'm not listening to that little bitch in my head, I used to listen to him all the time. That would be like, oh, it's fine, you justify it, you do this and that. But I said I was going to the gym, and if I don't go to the gym, I'll feel like I failed in a way, like I failed the day, or I failed myself. I said tomorrow's my rest day. I've got no work, and so go and do the run, go and do the exercise, go and do what you need to do, and push yourself. You know what I mean? This is that moment where it's like make or break, that mentality of like of perseverance. What a minor setback, like cooking tea late and helping Mads with a hurt finger, that's going to stop you from working out. Do you want it? Do you want it as badly as you say you want it? I'm planning a 16-week bulk with a 12-week cut at the end of it, and I've got 16 weeks to prepare and like to sort of set myself up by doing sort of toning and shaping. So I'm still keeping cardio active. I'm trying to do 10 to 12 Ks a week of running. I'm eating healthy, maintaining my diet, and then so it should be 3 days of running, 3 4K runs, and then 3 workouts: a push workout, a pull workout, and a leg workout. So I have a day off. Even then, considering my runs are sort of like days off as well, because I recover pretty quick from those. So last night was a push. Last night sucked because I was already so exhausted. I'd jacked my legs up on the run home because I wasn't wearing proper shoes, and I was sort of just sprinted. I didn't do any warm-ups or anything like that. But yeah, I feel really good. So I'm going to start my bulk in, I think it was mid-July, and I finished my bulk in like mid-September. And I'm hoping to try and put on 5 kilos of muscle, but I will just put on whatever I can. Then I'll be lifting heavier. I'm planning on doing a 6-day workout, so a 6-day split, which would be push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, rest. And I'm probably just going to continue that. So it's 100 workouts, and in that time, 16 weeks, I'm going to try and put on about half a kilo a week. A third of a kilo a week, let's say, like 350 grams of muscle. So it's going to be a challenge. And then after that, I'm going to cut down because I want to be able to go to the beach in summer and, be fitter and and look good. I want to be my physical peak. I think the main goal that I have is to be able to maintain my size without putting myself out. You know what I mean? Like you see these bodybuilders like Chris Bumstead, where he's got to eat 5,000 calories a day. I can't commit to that, especially on the wages I'm on. So unless this fucking podcast starts taking off and I start making shit tons of money, which I doubt's going to happen anytime soon, I'm doing this more as a hobby than anything else, and I don't even know if it's interesting for other people to listen to. I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into keeping my body rigid, keeping it available. I want to be able to do boxing. I want to be able to run for a couple Ks without having to stop. I think that's the exciting part. On Sunday, I did a run. I did my first run. It was 1.5 kilometers without stopping, maybe 1.4, whatever, without stopping. And then yesterday I doubled down. I did 2 in a row. So I did 1.2 kilometers, and then I stopped, and I walked for 200 meters, and then I did another 1.3 kilometers without stopping. And I was just trying to keep my pace, keep my breath. It wasn't until the 3rd kilometer that I was starting to get jacked up nips. I don't know if that's the thing that anyone knows about, but when you run with the wrong shirt on or the wrong material on, or you gotta bandage up your nips because they just start to rub with the constant friction against the shirt. And so they're kind of tender today. They're not so bad. It's been worse before. I used to run when I was younger. I used to run all the time, and I've had them where they've gone red raw. But yeah, it's not fun. Anyway, my legs were jacked up. I came home and I was able to have replenish my electrolytes. It was good. I was looking at buying electrolyte drinks, and then I went onto this like a Reddit thread r/keto, and it's like people, obviously keto is where people eat, like, don't have any sugar, I think, any added sugar or any sugar at all, I can't remember, but they were looking for like keto electrolyte supplements, and someone just said all you need is cordial with a little bit of salt in it. And I was like, huh. And so I've been doing that, and I just, after a workout, you just have like, I just have like a normal cordial with some sugar and some salt, and it has half of what you need, right? Because I'm pretty sure your electrolytes are sodium, sugar, potassium, and I want to say calcium, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know too much about like the nutritional side of a lot of things, so I'm still working on that. But I was looking up my my BMR, my metabolic, basal metabolic rate, like if I laid in bed all day, how many calories would I burn? And I burn about as much as Maddie needs to eat to maintain her size, which is just crazy. I think for me to lose weight now, I have to be eating like 3,200 calories a day, which is still huge. So it's interesting. It's interesting how diets and stuff work. But in 16 weeks, you got to burn 3,500 calories for get rid of 1 kilogram of muscle. Of fat, fat. There's 3,500 calories in a kilo of fat. And so if I've got, let's say, 7, 8, 9 kilos of fat on my body, because I'm not really worrying about my weight specifically, just how I look and how I feel, because I have put on weight since I started this. But I'm slimming down. I've got a lot less fat, and I'm definitely toning up and getting muscle. So once that sort of muscle plateaus and I'm not really gaining anything from there, which isn't going to happen because I'm obviously building when I go to do my my weightlifting workouts, I'm just going to start shredding fat, and it's like it's going to be counterproductive if I look at the scales all the time and I base it off that. So I need to, I'm just going to assume that I've got 5 kilos of fat on my body to get to myself to a healthy fat percentage. I would say between 5 and 10, maybe even between 8 and 12% fat. I don't want to go too low. I don't want to be too jacked and too thin. Not thin necessarily, but I don't want it to be I don't want to be looking scrawny. I want to still be able to have a bit of size on me, as long as there's muscle showing through, I think it still looks good. But there's that dilemma. So if it's 5 kilos of fat, 3,500, what's that? 16,500 calories I got to burn over the next 16 weeks. So about 1,000 calories a week. It's not impossible. If I'm doing these 4-kilometer runs, if I'm doing 12Ks a week, it's working out at about 1,200 calories just off running. And then on top of that, toning up and building muscle. And then on top of that, looking after my diet, I should be able to shred off about 10 kilos of fat in the next 16 weeks, and still maintain muscle mass and still maintain size. And then when I start my bulk, I'm going to do a clean bulk where I just start increasing the frequency at which I eat, the cleaner foods. So, fish, rice, and green veg, chicken, rice, and green veg. Maybe even for dinner, I can mix it up and do creamy pastas and stuff like that. So long as it's not fucking with my guts, and then taking different supplements and stuff to make sure, weight gainer, protein powders, and maybe glutamine or something. I don't know. I need to look into all of that other stuff, the nutritional side of it. Start taking BCAAs and whatever. But it's mostly the consistency that needs to be worried about. So for 16 weeks, I'm going to be dialed in. What's that? 4 months. I'm going to be dialed in, locked in. I can't go anywhere, do anything I'm not going to be splashing out and like, spending time out. I'm not going to be drinking or smoking or anything like that. And then towards the end of the year, when I'm like less worried about bulking up and I'm only doing my cut, I can get out and I can have a bit of fun. Because that's sort of the whole point, right? Is to build myself up so that I can cut myself back, look good, and then party and have a bit of fun and like, not be exhausted. And another thing, my first run, I felt so shit at the end of it. I couldn't breathe. Last night, after my half an hour run, I was able to walk home and hold a conversation like this with Mads and was able to breathe and had no issues. So my lung health is also insanely better than it was. And I'm super excited. And I hope that anyone who's listening to this is excited for me, because 30 days of podcasting, and I haven't even been like trying to keep it as close to 10 minutes too. I've been letting it run. 30 minutes of podcasting, 30 days, 31 days, a whole month. And then on top of that, mixing in, I don't know, I'm probably up to workout number 8 or 9 now. I think I've done, that's 5 runs. And then I've been up for 2 push days, 2 pull days, 1 leg day. So it's 10. There's 10 working out days technically in the last 2 weeks. I'm fucking stoked. I'm pumped about it. So I'm just going to continue this, maintain this. And I guess my advice is don't listen to the little bitch in your head. Just get out and do it. You'll feel much better afterwards. I feel much better today that I did what I said I was going to do. Now I can spend today just resting and playing video games and doing whatever I want. I wouldn't have been able to rest today knowing that I hadn't worked out.